Peace amidst the hustle. Buddhist wisdom for working professionals. Do you work hard but still feel exhausted? Do you have everything yet never feel at ease? The invisible pressures, endless expectations, and worries about the future are wearing you down. Success is not just about money or fame. It also lies in the peace of mind. Buddhism is not only for those seeking enlightenment. It is also a treasure trove of wisdom that helps you master your emotions, reduce stress, and regain clarity amidst life's chaos. Today, let's explore 10 habits that weaken your mind and how Buddhist wisdom can help you regain mental strength, balance work and life, and take control of yourself for sustainable success. It's time to let go of invisible burdens and find serenity in the present moment. 10 habits that weaken your mind and how Buddhism helps you regain mental strength. Introduction. Are you stuck in your own mind? Do you ever feel trapped in a whirlwind of anxiety, negativity, and stress? You try to control everything, yet life remains chaotic. You compare yourself to others, feel unsatisfied with the present, and let the past and future haunt your mind. But what if I told you that peace is not something you seek, it is something you create? Your mind is like a garden. If you don't nurture it, weeds will take over. Negative habits are those weeds. They weaken your mind, making you lose control and stay in a state of constant unrest. Fortunately, Buddhist wisdom can help cleanse the mind and plant the seeds of inner peace. Let's explore 10 habits that weaken your mind and how Buddhism can help you regain mental strength. Always thinking negatively. It is your mind, not the outside world, that creates suffering. Buddha Real-Life Insight. A study by Harvard University found that 80% of our daily thoughts are negative. A lesson from a Zen master. A student once told his Zen master, "Life is full of suffering. No matter how hard I try, things never go my way." The master handed the student a glass of water and asked, "Is this glass half full or half empty?" The student replied, "It's half empty." The master smiled and said, "Why not focus on the water that is there instead of what is missing?" Lesson. Negative thinking blinds you to the good things around you. Focus on what you have instead of what you lack. Practice. Write down 3 things you are grateful for every day. Practice mindfulness meditation to observe thoughts without being carried away. When a negative thought arises, ask yourself, is everything truly as bad as I think? Complaining about things beyond your control. Complaining is like holding a hot coal and waiting to throw it at someone. The first person to get burned is you. A lesson from a Zen master. A disciple once asked, "Master, why is life so unfair?" The master pointed at a river and said, "Can you command the river to flow backward?" The student shook his head. Lesson. You cannot change everything, but you can change how you react to it. Focus on what you can control. Practice. Reduce complaints. Instead of whining about a situation, ask yourself, what can I do to improve it? Accept impermanence. Everything changes, even the things that trouble you today. Suppressing your emotions and thoughts. A lesson from a Zen master. The master said, "A full cup of water will overflow if not emptied." Likewise, your mind needs release. Lesson. Learn to express your thoughts and emotions. Share with someone you trust or write in a journal to relieve mental pressure. Practice. Speak your thoughts honestly but gently. Keep a meditation journal to understand your emotions. Blaming others for your problems. A lesson from a Zen master. The master handed his disciple a gift and asked, "If you don't accept this gift, who does it belong to?" The student replied, "It still belongs to you, master." Lesson. Take responsibility for your life instead of blaming others. Only when you control your thoughts, emotions, and actions are you truly free. Practice. When facing a problem, instead of blaming, ask, "What can I do to improve this?" Learn to forgive. Holding on to resentment only harms you. Living in the past real-life example, a millionaire lost everything during a crisis. Instead of moving forward, he kept regretting the past and couldn't rebuild his life. A lesson from a Zen master. The past is like a car that has already passed by. If you keep looking at it, you'll never see the road ahead. Lesson. Acknowledge the past, learn from it, but don't let it control your present. Practice. Instead of regret, write down the lessons you've learned from past experiences. Practice mindfulness, meditation, to focus on the present. Constantly worrying about the future. Worrying does not take away tomorrow's troubles. It only robs today's peace. Buddha. Do you often feel anxious about the future? Do you fear things that haven't happened yet and let them dictate your emotions? Real-life insight. A Cornell University study found that 85% of what we worry about never happens. Of the remaining 15%, 79% of situations were handled better than expected. A lesson from a Zen master. A disciple asked, "Master, I always worry about the future. How can I live peacefully?" The master smiled and asked, "Can you drink tomorrow's water today?" The student, puzzled, replied, "Of course not, master." "Then why do you try to live for tomorrow instead of today?" Lesson. We cannot control the future. The only thing we can do is live fully in the present. Practice. When anxiety arises, ask yourself, is this truly worth worrying about? Practice mindfulness meditation, focusing on your breath and the present moment. Accept impermanence. Everything changes. Fear of failure and the courage to act. The greatest mistake a person can make is fearing mistakes. Buddha. Have you ever procrastinated on doing something because you were afraid of failure? Do you feel like you're not smart enough, not skilled enough, or not lucky enough to succeed? Real-life example, billionaire Jack Ma, founder of Alibaba, was rejected by Harvard 10 times, turned down by 30 companies, and even denied a job at KFC. But instead of giving up, he kept going and built his empire. A lesson from a Zen master. A student approached his Zen master and said, "Master, I am afraid of failure. I don't want to do anything because I fear making mistakes." The master handed him a blank piece of paper and said, "Write down everything you fear." The student held the pen but hesitated. The master smiled. "Do you see? If you don't take action, you will have nothing at all." Lesson. Fear does not prevent failure. It only prevents success. Practice. Remember, there is no failure, only lessons. When fear arises, ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Practice mindfulness meditation to recognize fear and let it go. Does being busy but not truly living? A person may live 100 years, but never truly live a single day. Buddha. Do you ever feel like you're always busy but never truly happy? You chase after work, money, and success, but forget to enjoy life? Real life example. Many successful people have shared that their biggest regret is not working more, but not spending enough time with family, friends, and themselves. A lesson from a Zen master. A wealthy businessman visited a Zen master and said, "Master, I have money and success, but I still don't feel happy." The master handed him an empty glass and asked, "Can you drink water from an empty glass?" The businessman shook his head. "Then why do you think that having everything externally is enough while not filling yourself internally?" Lesson: being busy does not equal success. Make time to truly live. Practice: learn to enjoy the present moment. Spend quality time with family, friends, and loved ones. Find a balance between work and personal life. Constantly comparing yourself to others. Comparison is the root of all suffering. Do you ever look at other people's lives and feel like you're falling behind? Do you see others being more successful, wealthier, or happier, and feel insecure, jealous, or dissatisfied with yourself? Real life example. A study by Stanford University found that excessive use of social media can lead to depression due to constant comparison with others. A lesson from a Zen master. A disciple asked the master, "Master, I feel like I will never be as good as others." The master took out 2 seeds, one of a rose and one of bamboo, and said, "If you plant them, which one will grow faster?" The student replied, "The rose will bloom first, but the bamboo will grow much taller over time." The master nodded. "Then why compare yourself to others when every person has their own journey?" Lesson: happiness doesn't come from being better than others, but from becoming the best version of yourself. Practice: stop comparing yourself to others. Be grateful for what you have. Focus on self-improvement rather than competing with others. Loving yourself. You cannot truly love others if you do not love yourself first. Do you ever criticize yourself, feel like you're not good enough, or set unrealistic expectations for yourself? Real life example. A Yale University study found that lack of self-love can lead to stress, anxiety, and depression. Lesson: self-love is not selfish. It is the foundation that allows you to spread love to others. Practice: speak kind words to yourself. Take time for self-care. Accept your imperfections. To conclusion, the key is in your hands. Are you ready to let go of bad habits and regain your mental strength? Comment below on the lesson that resonated with you the most. Blast off.